Hey docs, good to see you again. I often get the questions about, what are the best investments that you've made? What are the things that you invest in that make the biggest impact? And I wanted to share some thoughts with you on that because, you know, yes, investing in your 401k, you want to max that out if you can. Take advantage of that while you have the chance to max that out. You can invest in things like real estate, you can invest in dental practices. Everything comes down to what do you think is going to put your money to work in the way that makes the most return. But I want you to think about it slightly different. The actually three very best investments a young dentist can make are not so much outside of dentistry. They're in one, your own continuing education. So do you have a 2-year continuing ed plan? Because I think that if I went back and I looked at the amount of money that I've invested in continuing education, and I routinely try to do 100 to 150 hours a year of that, but those hours, those dollars have paid me back more than any investment I've ever made in anything, period. I don't care if it's Berkshire Hathaway, I don't care if it's gold, I don't care if it's real estate, it doesn't matter. I crush it in the dollars I've spent in my education. So think about your plan. What can you do to invest in your own education and be a lifelong learner? Think of it as a marathon, not a sprint. Schedule this out so that you're routinely investing in things that will move the needle for you. We've got some cool things coming up with Center Points that'll help you on that. But just know that, this is something that ultimately you own. The second thing is your team. They're the wind in your sail. They're the ones that make things go. That's where the rubber meets the road, whatever you want to say. If you invest in your team each and every day, help them get a little bit better, a tip of the day, something that reminds them. Use these videos if you want. Feel free to rephrase anything that you've learned in the videos over time that you can reteach your team as a tip of the day. Do it, because each time you make your team members better, it multiplies hugely. If you've got a 6-member team, think 6x multiplication of that one skill is powerful. It's so much more than you could ever do on your own. And then lastly, investing to be able to have the things you need in your practice. So for instance, if you take a sedation course, you can't really make that pay until you have the proper equipment to do it. Same thing for dental implants, Invisalign, whatever else. Clearly, we try to be your partner on that. We want to do it. But if there's things that actually will be investments that make money, dentists are famous for buying a bunch of really expensive, dust collectors. We don't want that. We want to find things that actually move the needle. So if you have something you're thinking about and you want to know, I guarantee I've been there, done that. There are so many things that I've learned the hard way were not good investments. There's so many things I've learned in the best way that were the best investments. So invest in yourself and your own continuing education. Invest in your team every single day. And then make sure your practice has what it needs to move the mark and make things go. Those three investments will trump everything, every dollar you can put everywhere else. They will make it so that you have the dollars coming in to do all the other fun things like buying Berkshire Hathaway, buying real estate, buying whatever it is that you think is cool that is going to make you a ton of money. Bitcoin, whatever it is, go for it. But you got to have the dollars in your bank account first to make this happen. And I'm telling you, these other three investments, that's where it happens. All right. Take care, guys. Let me know what you think of this. See ya.